All right, you guys, this is Mrs. Leong, and we are going to learn how to divide polynomials. All right, so lesson 5.2, the first thing we're going to do is just dividing a polynomial with a monomial. All right, so that's pretty simple. All you have to do is divide that monomial into each of these terms in the numerator. So that one is just you can even split them apart first to make sure you don't make any careless mistakes. So each term in the numerator will be divided by the denominator. All right, and then you just simplify. So this will be 3k over m minus, this will be 6k squared, plus this will be 9m over 2k. All right. So I'm good with that, but if you wanted to go in order, so highest degree alphabetically, that will be k, that goes first, then 3k over m plus 9m over 2k. All right, so I'm okay with either of these. All right, and then that's number 1. Okay, go ahead and try it for number 2. And just remember that the exponent of -1 means that this is being divided by 4a. All right, so once you're ready, just go ahead and pause the video, try it out, and then unpause to see the answer. All right, so here's my answer and my work. I didn't notice that these two were actually like terms. I could have added them earlier, but I did realize it once I got here, so I added it at the end. But either way, final answer. Okay, let me go ahead and show you guys what happens when you are dividing not by a monomial, but in this case, for number 3, a binomial. All right, so it doesn't quite work out the same as the monomial where we can just split it up and it simplifies nicely. So first, I want to show you guys a new way called synthetic division. And synthetic division is a nice kind of shortcut way for you to divide these without writing a lot. All right. The unfortunate thing, though, with synthetic division is that there are some restrictions about when you should use them. All right, so I'll go ahead and write the restrictions over here. So use synthetic division when ... 1, the divisor is a binomial. All right, so only 2 terms, okay? So for example, like number 3, this is our divisor. There are 2 terms here, so I can use that synthetic division. Number 2, the divisor has degree of 1. All right, so this divisor has degree of 1. That's w to the first power, so that's why that's okay. And usually it's easiest when the divisor has a leading coefficient of 1. Okay, you can do synthetic when it's not, but it's just easier when that leading coefficient is 1. So number 3 is not as important, and you could do synthetic division without number 3, but the first 2, you definitely want to make sure that's true before you use synthetic division. All right, so now that I explained when to use it, let me show you how to use it. Here we go. So for number 3, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to draw a big L, like so. And on the inside of the L, I'm going to take all the coefficients right there and put it inside the L, like so. All right, and then next I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to find the root of my divisor here. All right, so the root is whatever makes that equal to 0. So that will be a -3. I'm going to put that -3 on the outside of my L. And now here are the steps. You're going to drop down the first number as is, and then you're going to multiply these two and put it right there. All right, so I'm going to get a -9 there. And then you're going to go ahead and add these two together and get a number down there. All right, so again, multiply to get that, and then add these two to get that. And then we repeat the process. -3 times -2 gets me +6. Add the -4 plus the 6, that gets you a 2. Multiply the -3 and the 2, and that gets you a -6. And -6 plus 3 gets you a -3. All right, and that is actually our remainder. Okay, that's why I kind of separated this last number. It's always just that last number, and that's just going to be our remainder. Okay, so we can't leave our answer like that. We definitely need to go ahead and write this now. These are our coefficients, and this is our remainder. So your answer is going to be 3w squared, and the reason why I know it's squared, it's going to be 1 degree less than the original, right? Because we're dividing this divided by this, will leave you with w squared. Okay. All right, so 3w squared minus 2w plus 2. All right, so you see I'm just bringing these down as my coefficients, and these just walk down 1 degree. And then my remainder is going to be -3. I'm going to put that over my original divisor because that's my remainder. All right, and that is my final answer. Okay, so let's go ahead and have you try it. Number 4, actually, let me set you up first before you try it. All right, so for number 4, the reason why I said that is because I am missing a bunch of terms between these two. So this should be b cubed plus 0b squared plus 0b plus 27. All right, so you need to make sure you see that, those missing terms, and being divided by that. All right, so go ahead and try it. I will have you pause the video, try out synthetic division, and see if we get matching answers at the end. All right, so if you want to see your answer for number 4, here we go. This is what I got. All right, so I have my coefficients 1, 0, 0, 27 here. I have my root from this factor being -3, put it that right there. Now we just drop down the first one, multiply, we get -3, plus the 0 still gets me -3. Multiply these two to get 9, add it up, and we get 9. Multiply -3 times 9 gets me the -27, and then 27 plus 27 got me a remainder of 0. All right, and so taking these as my coefficients, I'm going to do b squared, 1 less than the original, minus 3b plus 9. All right, so that's how you do synthetic division. Let's go ahead and talk about when the rules are a little bit broken and we have, let's say, something in front there. With these, I would recommend doing long division. All right, so doing long division, I think, is the safest bet. You definitely can still do synthetic if you know how to do it and you want to do it that way, feel free. But I like doing these just with long division. All right, so set it up. And I like long division, but definitely synthetic has the advantage because you don't have to write as much. Okay, but just as a reminder of how to do long division, we're going to go ahead and take my first terms, all right, and think what times 2y gets me 6y squared? Or you can think 6y squared divided by 2y gets me what? Hopefully you're thinking 3y. So I'm going to take that 3y and I'm going to multiply it with both these terms to get 6y squared plus 9y. And then I subtract. These will subtract to 0. And be careful here, don't add, make sure you subtract. So negative 14y. And then I'm going to drop down my next term. Then repeat the process. 2y times what gets me negative 14y? That will be negative 7. So negative 14y minus 21 is what I get when I multiply negative 7 times both of those terms. And make sure you subtract. These two will go to 0. And negative 15 minus negative 21 is negative 15 plus 21 So that gets you positive 6. All right, so my final answer is going to be 3y plus 7, or sorry, 3y minus 7 plus 6 over 2y plus 3. Final answer. All right. So let's have you try with number 6 just to see if you remember how to do that. Go ahead and pause the video, and then once you're done, unpause, see if you got the right answer. All right, so here comes the answer for number 6. Okay, and there's my work as well. Most common careless mistake, again, is the subtraction, especially when you get here, you get so happy you're done. A lot of times people will just think, oh, no remainder. But be careful with that subtraction. Okay, let's try our last one. Number 7. It says, the area of a triangle is given here with this polynomial, square meters, and the length of the base of the triangle is this many meters. What is the height of the triangle? All right, so if you guys remember from your geometry days, the area of a triangle is 1/2 base times height. All right, so that means 15 x to the 4th plus 3x to the 3rd plus 4x squared minus x minus 3 is equal to 1/2 the base, and h is what we're looking for, the height. All right, so let's solve for h. I'm going to go ahead and simplify this here since both of these are nicely divisible by 2. So that equals to 3x squared minus 1. All right, and then that whole thing, just put a ditto. All right, so then h is going to be that whole thing divided by this thing. All right, so let's do some long division. Definitely can't do synthetic because of that squared, so we are definitely stuck with long division. And I gotta say, for synthetic division and long division, one of the most common careless mistakes I see is people forgetting to put in zeros for any missing terms. So make sure you do that for both synthetic and long division. All right, so let's do this, okay? Put that whole thing in my long division sign. On the outside here, I'm going to put 3x squared plus 0x minus 1. All right, and then you're ready to roll. It's plus 0x to the 3rd minus 5x squared. Subtract. We get 3x cubed plus 9x squared, because we're subtracting, of course. And then I get plus x. So 3x cubed plus 0x squared minus x. That goes to 0. So 9x squared. Minus, did I forget to bring down the 3? Sorry, 9x squared plus 0x. Oh, sorry, there's my minus 3. I bring down the minus 3. All right, and then lastly I do a plus 3. We get 9x squared plus 0x minus 3. All right, that goes to 0, that goes to 0, and that goes to 0. All right, so the height is going to be that many meters. All right, so don't forget, for the word problems, make sure you have your units. So that many meters. Oops. All right, and that is lesson 2.